Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I do. How are you doing?
Very good. I'm the person who's called Sneaker's Corner.
Okay, are you a Muslim, my friend?
I'm not a Muslim, no.
All
I
right.
have a theory that Mohammed was actually an Irish monk.
He was an Irish monk. That's interesting. Okay, tell us about it.
Okay, so in the 5th, 6th, and 7th centuries,
Hmm.
there was a strong connection between Egypt and Ireland. There was monks going back and forth, and there's lots of archaeological and documentary evidence for this. And so what I believe is in the 590s,
Okay.
he went to Egypt and visited lots of different monasteries, and he became a heretic and moved to Petra. And I've translated some of the Quran back to Gaelic and found that it is very poetic in the original Gaelic. So what I believe is he preached in his monastery, and his monks translated
let me ask you a
into
question.
Arabic.
What was the language of Muhammad? Because you said he's an Irish monk.
Gaelic was his language.
What is that in Gaelic mean? Is that like a kind of English now, or what?
It means Irish.
Irish. But how come Muhammad never said one Irish word?
Isa.
Isa
is an Irish word. It means Jesus.
No, this is coming from the Greek, Isos.
No. The only Christian group in the world that uses Isa, actually, not just hypothetically, but actually in liturgies, is actually Irish people. Because I'm an Irish person, we have prayers using that word, but you won't find any other country in the world that actually uses it in that way.
Okay.
I don't think he invented the word.
But now let us say.
I think he used it that way.
Okay, my friend, I don't know what's your name. Can we judge? Can we say Muhammad was an Irish because just one word?
No. I have more evidence.
Okay.
So
like what?
I've studied Brehon law, which is an ancient Irish law that's about 3,000 years old.
Okay.
And the laws are totally like Sharia law. What I believe he did was he borrowed Brehon law.
What is a Sharia law? What do you know about the Sharia? What is Sharia law?
Well, I'll give you one example. The law which said that
everything
are
in Islam is a copy of somewhere else. So if you are saying you found that this is existing somewhere, that will not make any difference anyway, because everything in Islam is a copy from somewhere. The prayer is a copy of somebody. The ablution is a copy of somebody. Stoning women is a copy of somebody. So there is nothing. What you are saying now have nothing to do with Islam still, because Islam is collecting from other religion, but not from one religion.
Well, I would argue that this monk.
Okay, let me ask you. Those Irish people, they are considered as a Christian.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was an Irish monk from a Christian sect.
Yeah.
Do they believe in the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit?
Yes, but I believe he became a heretic.
Okay. So he was one of those, and then he changed. You mean?
Yeah. Okay. He read Gnostic texts when he went to the monastery in Mount Sinai in Egypt, for example.
Okay.
And so there was also a Julian heresy at the time which denied that Jesus' body corrupted.
There was many. This is not really, but you see, I'm not against you of what you are saying, but there is no proof of anything of what you said, because saying that Sharia law is close to other belief. Muhammad is a collection of belief. Muhammad, he took from the Arab the pagan black stone, the Kaaba. He took from the Christians Mary, she was a virgin. He took from the Jews stoned to death, and he took all the fiction story about the legion of the Jews, like the flying carpet of Suleiman, etc. He took the ablution from the Sabian. He took Ramadan from the Sabian. So we cannot really, because if that will make me believe that Muhammad, let us say Muhammad and the Christian, they share that Mary was virgin, but that does not mean Muhammad is a Christian. That's number one. Muhammad, he took from the Arab the black stone. But I'm saying to you, he grabbed from everybody. But that's me. Muhammad is from everybody. And how you can say that he used to be, how you can prove to me now that he used to be from those Irish, and then he changed.
Well, okay, here's the thing. One of the things that Irish monks did in the 6th century was they were what's the word for jurists. So in other words, they were the ones who dealt with the Brehon law. They were lay people as well. Another thing is, because Irish scribes read and copied lots of different texts, they would have had the relevant knowledge to be able to talk about all of these stories. Irish monks were very open-minded, and they read pagan stories in a way that, for example, St. Jerome would never have done. And so the other thing is that at that time, paganism was still present in Ireland, and so a lot of Irish people were a mixture of Christian and pagan. And so there's this dualism in Irish culture that even still exists. Irish people curse others even today, the same way as Mohammad did. So I see an awful lot of parallels that help explain how this weird religion started.
No, you see, still I don't agree with you, because as I said, there's nothing to link them, except you are just making assumption that's okay. There's something here to share, but this guy, he shared with everybody. This Muhammad, let me tell you how it is. Muhammad, when he sat with the Jews, he tried to present himself as a Jew. So he said to them, I believe in Moses, I believe in Abraham. He said with the Christians, he said, I believe in Isa, I believe in Mary. He said with the Sabian, he said with Sabian, you go to heaven, I believe in a Sabian. He said with the people who worship the three daughters of Allah, he bowed down for them and he prayed for them. You know the story of the satanic verses, I think, right? So this guy is hypocrite. He is not really, he is not a heretic. He is just a liar.
He's certainly certainly a liar.
But you see, heretic is someone, and I think you speak a lot better English than mine. English is not my first language. Heretic, as I know in English, is somebody, he believes in something, but he is out of line from the main religion, correct?
Yeah, but I think it's like a very
but
like
Muhammad is not
severe one.
But Muhammad is not. But Muhammad is not that one. Muhammad, as I said, because you see, heretic, he have one line to follow, right? Okay, he said, let us say he is, as you said, there's Irish monks, but those Irish monks, they believe in certain things, but he go out, he said like, okay, Jesus is not God. Okay, but this is not the case. Muhammad, he added tons of things coming from other religion. Why? Because simply he is a hypocrite liar. He don't believe in anything. You know he's a false man. That's why he made a chapter for him saying that Allah told me that any woman she can give herself for me, so he can F her. That is not from a heretic person. That is from a one is using God, whatever that God is.
So, what I mean, like a chart of a specific word to describe how he went. He basically left Christianity and formed his own, using all the ideas that he had picked up. But I'd like to share some further evidence, if I may.
Sure.
There's a document that was sent to the monks in St. Catherine's Monastery next to Mount Sinai, which the Sultan took and brought back to Turkey. But the monks have a copy of it. It's called the Ashtiname. Have you ever heard of that one?
Yeah, but I think it's fake. I don't think it's real.
Okay. Well, it could be. But here's the thing. At the top of it, there are, top right, I believe it's a drawing of the actual monastery in Dingle, because it matches it perfectly, and it shows a standing stone, and that's significant because the standing stones next to it in Dingle has an Egyptian inscription on it. It's an image of an Egyptian fan that the Egyptian monks used to fan themselves, and the bottom image in it is a building which can be found in the monastery in Mount Sinai. So I think, and also the fact that he didn't write himself, he got Ali to write it, suggests that he didn't know the language.
Yeah, let me explain to you. This is first. You see, there's many places they fabricate documents saying this is giving us anonymity or protection from the prophet to protect themselves. So there's many they used to do that, like the Druze, the Ismaili, etc. So they used to say the Sabian. So they, like the Sabian, they fabricate a document that the caliphate in certain time he gave them immunity against paying jizya or to kill them. So those are things are very normal to happen at that time, and especially those Arab who do not know even how to read, how to write. So
if I ask you, what does the phrase Allahu Akbar means exactly in English? Can you tell me?
Akbar mean bigger.
Bigger, okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you say it in Gaelic, it is Allahu Akbar, which means not just bigger, it means is on top, is supreme. Do you follow me?
But this is not the
so
meaning.
Allahu Akbar, if it was transliterated into the nearest phrase in Arabic, is actually not as powerful as it is in the original Gaelic.
In the language you are talking about, in the Irish language, do they have the word Allah?
Allah, I believe, is being constructed from the moon god
No, no, I'm
La.
asking you. Okay, yeah, but I'm asking you.
And there, oh
Do
yeah,
do
sorry,
they
one
have?
one I was saying, there is in the Dingle area there is a local god, a sun god called Lu, and so it's possible that it started off as Lu and became Allah, the an Arabic equivalent, possibly.
I don't know. Like for me, I cannot find anything to back up what you are saying because Allah, as you said, it contained two words. It's Al, which it's a word mean God, and then
Yeah,
La is the moon god, and
yeah,
Akbar simply there was a statues or God. His name is Akbar. So and then Muhammad, because he came supposedly to merge all the gods together and make them one God. So Allahu Akbar became one. Uh, but about the Irish and this story, for me, for you it makes sense. I don't know. For me, I don't see anything. There's no connection because
yeah,
there's no Allah first. Like if you say to me those Irish, they have the word Allah and they have the word Akbar and they have the word Muhammad and they have etc. Then I will say, or maybe at least Allah, at least Allah find it there.
yeah.
But there is no
But
Allah.
I think just to interrupt you a second, I think the words, whatever the original was, he could have used certain Arabic words, but
No,
the
no. But you
majority of
see,
what he said
Allah,
was Gaelic, but translated into Arabic.
Allah is not Arabic. Allah is not Arabic. Allah, Al is an Aramaic, old ancient Aramaic, and La is an old ancient Aramaic. So as I said, the
Well,
Arabic,
that.
the,
Sorry, that fits in with what I'm saying with Syriac monastery. Like Aramaic is
yes,
basically
yes. You see,
equivalent to Syriac.
the Arabic itself, my friend, the Arabic in the Hebrew are nothing but a born out of Aramaic. So like who's Abraham? Abraham is an Aramaic man. So in the time of Abraham, there's no Hebrew. Hebrew is a newborn language because those are the children of Israel. After that, they start speaking Hebrew. Hebrew is the same as the Arabic, is born out of other language. Arabic is more mixed from the Hebrew. Arabic is a collection of many languages, but the major language impact in it is the Aramaic. This is why there's many verses in the Quran Muslims themselves cannot explain. Why? Because it's written using Aramaic words. And
Yeah,
actually, there is some theories speak of that the Quran in the beginning it was totally Aramaic, and the Arabic version of it is what we have today.
yeah,
I will not be surprised with that. But
yeah.
the
Just
theory,
can I give you another example?
yeah, go ahead.
Uh, okay, so Surah 102, the name of it is, as I would pronounce it in English, At Takatur. Now, if you treat that as a Gaelic word, At is closest to Och, which means place, and then Takatur is Choch Ahar, which means house of the Father. So it's a place of the house of the Father, or equivalent to heaven. I'm only at the tip of the iceberg here because I haven't. Oh yeah, there's one other one. Like Angel obviously has a Greek connection, but Angel in Irish is very close to it. It's much closer than the Greek is.
Okay, let's go by
So
one. You said
yeah,
chapter Quran 102.
yeah. The
Okay.
title, if I'm not mistaken, is
Yeah,
Attakater.
at-takathur. Yeah. What does
Yeah.
that mean in Irish? What is
So in
that?
Irish, it would mean basically a poetic way of saying heaven. It's like
No, you see,
the house of the Father.
at-takathur here is being busy with having kids. You are busy with multiplying with kids. This is what at-takathur means. So
Okay.
this is,
So
and then
maybe it's just coincidence.
and the verse after it confirmed that, and this is why, like, you keep going to visiting the graveyard, etc. So don't really, I think this is not in the right direction for you. I appreciate that you are trying to study and trying to search, but I think you went so far. If there is similarity, like the word Injil as an example, it's a Greek word, and this is additional proof that Muhammad is a thief. And here there's a question: if Muhammad is a person who is coming to announce to us Isa as a Hebrew messenger, correct? And he was a
Yeah.
messenger, he was sent to the Jews, as the Quran confirmed. So why he is using the word Injil, which is a Greek word? Because Injil, that's mean Isa, he was a prophet for the Greek. Because
Yeah.
remember, the Quran says, I never send a messenger except he speak in the tongue and the language of his people so they might understand. So it doesn't make sense that Isa is a messenger of God to the Jews, but yet his book have a Greek name. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
So this is additional proof that Muhammad is nothing but a collection of religions.
Yeah.
He
Well, I
merged them
think he's
together.
I think he's a master syncretist in he's literally just taking ideas from lots of different religions, mixing them together and putting his own stamp on
He
it.
have nothing. This guy is an empty. He announced himself as a prophet, and now he's confused. In the beginning, he started to join the Sabian, because in certain times Sabian, they were the major religion in the Middle East. Sabian today, they are almost unexist. But in a certain time, you were mentioning the Egyptian, right? The Egyptian, actually, there's many proofs and reference that the Egyptian, they were Sabian too. And this is why the Sabian, they hated the Jews. Like there's a prayer in the Sabian book against the Jews and their God Adonai, and they make fun of them. They said their God Adonai, the evil, who taught them to do circumcision. And why they hate the Jews, the Sabian? Because the Sabian, they agreeing with the story of the Pharaoh, and they believe in it. Look like there is witnesses of their nation of what happened, and they believe that the God of the Jews, who is evil for them, he destroy the kingdom of the Pharaoh, which is a Sabian kingdom. You see? So Muhammad is a person, he don't have a religion. Like if I can I show you details, starting from the fasting. Muhammad was looking for a fasting. First, he started fasting like the Jews. He heard he was entering a city of the Jews, and he heard them, they fasted 3 days. So he said, what is this fasting? They told him this is the fast of Moses. So he said, okay, you know what? I am more close to Moses than you. So he started fasting the fast of Moses. Then there's a fast of Ashura. He started fasting the fast of Ashura. Then he heard of the fasting of Ramadan. He quit Ashura. He quit the fasting of Moses. He started doing Ramadan. So he was looking, this guy is looking for ideas to add to his religion. Same for
that all may be fictionalized. The Hadith record is I would argue that
Hadith and Quran, they confirm that, and we cannot confirm anything out of.
I would argue that fasting is actually part of the Breton law. You can actually make
but
demands
Ramadan,
on people.
but Ramadan is the fasting of the Sabian of 30 days.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a borrowed idea, but
and the Sabian
Irish culture at the time.
No, and the Sabian, when they fast Ramadan, they start the fast in one city, and then they end the fast in another city. Why? Because they believe that the new city will receive a new moon. This is why Muhammad, he says, وَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرِ, so the one who witnessed the crescent moon, he fast. So Muhammad, he adopt exactly the same idea of the Sabian of Ramadan, how they fast, how they end fasting. So whoever of you whoever of you witness Shahr Ramadan, he have to fast, and whoever witness of you the moon again, he have to stop fasting. This is exactly what the Sabian they do. So, and Muhammad in the hadith was called Sabian too. They thought he's a Sabian. So there's tons of reference. And the Muslims today, if you read the translation, as an example, if you go to chapter 2 verse 185, the Muslim, they will say to you that the word shahr mean month, but the fact the word shahr have nothing to do with month. The word shahr is a word coming from the Aramaic, which mean moon. So whoever of you witness the moon, whoever of you witness the moon, you don't witness the month. Nobody can see the month. The month is time. We don't see the time. Whoever of you witness the moon, and this is how the Muslim makes sense, right? Because the Muslim, they start fasting by seeing the moon. So whoever of you see that moon have to fast it. Now, how we do that? By the moon we start, by the moon we stop. And this is exactly what the Sabian they do. You can go now. You can go.
Just to make a connection there.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was a practice under Breton law that if someone owed you money in Ireland, you fasted under the moonlight. You fasted all the way through the night till the morning to enforce the payment of whatever was owed to you.
This is 1 month. This is not a one night. This is 30 days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is 30
but
days.
I think like he left Ireland with sort of basic
no. You
pagan
see,
ideas that he just
fasting,
developed
my friend,
in encounter with other
fasting,
religions and so on.
yeah, fasting is exist in many religions as a way to practice
Yeah.
and control yourself.
Aye.
And supposedly, the fasting is not about just repenting; it's about to learn how to control yourself so you don't do that sin again. So if you can
Yeah.
control your desire by doing fasting, that will help you to control something else. That's all. But Muhammad,
There's one.
he is copying everything from someone else, and you will notice here have nothing to do with any fasting of the Jews or any fasting of Abraham, because this is 30 days. And if you look around you, you will not find anyone doing that except the Sabian.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Uh,
so we have to make a connection, and the connection have to be sponsored by many evidence, and all the evidence come to end that Muhammad, obviously he was infected big time by the Sabian.
yeah.
Not someone, and the Sabian, they are not only in the north of Iraq as today, but this is their major, let us say, headquarter. The Sabian, the headquarter in Iraq was like Mecca for the Muslim today, for the Sabian. But the Sabian, they spread all over the Middle East, to the point you see the word Mecca. The word Mecca is not even Mecca. The word Mecca is coming from the temple of the word Makkah, which is a Sabian temple of Yemen. So the Sabian, they extend their religion everywhere, all the way to Yemen, which means the Queen of Sheba and her people at that time, most likely, they were people who or her people at least, they were people who worship and believe in the same gods of the Sabians. And that where the word Mecca is coming from. It is coming from Makkah. So Mecca was the name of the house of the Kaaba, where it's coming from the temple of Al-Makkah. If you know that Muhammad, he said there's two stones, if you touch them they will forgive your sin, or two corners. One of those two corners is the corner of Yemen. Why the corner of Yemen is important? Because they have stones is coming from the temple of Makkah, and that stones, actually we can search for them and show them for people in the screen, and we did many times. Those stones are taken from the temple of Al-Makkah in Yemen, and that will make supposedly the new house a holy house for the new believers. Or let us say today people, they go to the Kaaba. If we can get a few stones from the Kaaba and we build the Kaaba and we put those stones in the corner, we say to the Muslims, come here in Las Vegas, kiss the stone because this is from the Kaaba. This is the whole idea. So Mecca was a counterfeit of the original temple of Yemen, which is Al-Makkah. And this is why it's called Ruknul Yamani, and it have very different look of stones. From all the stones exist in let me show it in the screen so people they can see. I don't know if you can see the screen with us. If you look at the screen here, this is a Rukn al-Yamani, which means the Yemeni corner. Now it's called the Yemeni corner for simply the Muslim, they might give you their own definition. However, this is the stones coming from the temple of Al-Makkah. This is why they look differently from the other stones of the Kaaba. The color look different. You can tell those are not in match with the stones of the rest of the Kaaba. So the same as the Christian today, some Christians, they bring the bones of someone, they call him saint, right? And they build in the top of the saint bones, or the left of the saint, a church, and that will make the stone is the church is more blessed. However, this is here, Islam is a pagan practice. They bring a stone which may then believe it's a holy stone, and to the point, if you touch those stones, your sin is forgiven. This is coming from the Sabian. So you will see here how huge the impact of the Sabian. And what Muhammad took from the Christians and from the Jews was in his way of trying to make them believe in him. But the fact, he don't really care for Christianity. That's why at the end he decided to kill them all. When he give up, when he give up, you will notice, if you go and read the history of Muhammad, you will see most of Muhammad's life after he became a prophet, announcing himself as a prophet, he was not doing Hajj to Kaaba, and he was not praying to the Kaaba. Why? If the Kaaba was a holy place, why, since the beginning of his prophethood claim, until many years after he don't pray to the Kaaba direction, because at that time he was busy wasting his time trying to convert the Christians and the Jews to be believers in him. And to be believers in the Jew, to make the Jews and the Christian believe in him, he have to pray in direction of Jerusalem. And this is why Muhammad was praying all this time since he left Mecca. He gave up. In the beginning in Mecca, he was doing the same as the Arab, as a pagan person. So when he was with the Arab of his tribe, he was doing what they do to make them convinced that he is a prophet. Now he was kicked out from Mecca, as the Muslims claim. He went
I think actually he was. I think where that story originated was he was kicked out of a monastery.
No.
There's something else I want to share with you.
Muhammad have nothing to do. You see, to say he was in a monastery, that will make Muhammad educated person. Because
he was.
No, he's stupid. I mean, don't you see what he's doing? This guy, Zulqarnain, Alexander the Great.
He couldn't have got all those ideas if he wasn't educated.
You see,
he obviously was well read, even though he was stupid.
No, my friend. Education, those people in monastery, they will not accept those stories to be part of anything. Those are not. They don't even accept stupid people to be part of their. You see, in monastery, especially in the old days, they can accept you if you are not smart to be a cook. Okay.
But if he was a cook,
but not to be.
I just want to share with you that.
But not to be a monk. Hold on.
There is an Irish surname. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you a second. There is an Irish surname called Quran in the place I say that he was born, and the Syriac word which was used in the Christian liturgies was Quran, which means scripture lesson, and the word in Irish actually means spear.
There's
so
no.
the two things could have connected for him.
No, the word Quran is not exist. There's nothing is called Quran. You see, in the Syrian, the word is qarra. Qarra is you speak, and then ra'a, which means he saw. So you say what you saw, which means you read. All right. So Quran is a wrong word. All right. Now the reason the Quran is written this way, because Muhammad, if you remember, I'm not sure how much you know, Muhammad, he is connected to a guy, his name Waraq ibn Nawfal. Waraq ibn Nawfal, supposedly he was a person who was a pagan, then he became a Jew, then he became Nasara, not a Christian, right? And he used to write a book in Arabic which is summarizing or translating from the Injil. All right, so this is where Muhammad, he got many of his stories from. But Waraqa, he died, and now the book of Waraqa is limited, have to do only with the Christians and the Jews. So everything Muhammad he added to that book, it was of his own stories. This is why I believe the book of Waraqa was the one which is makes sense. Isn't like not make sense for me as a Christian, but let us say it was a kind of someone is educated talking, and then the rest is something stupid. You see, when somebody bring to me and you speak English, you know, I mean, English is your first language. If I write an article for you, and I say to you, and I put it inside the book of Shakespeare, and I give you the book, and I will make it print exactly as the book of Shakespeare, but right away you will notice as an Englishman or as an Irishman that this is no way that Shakespeare wrote this page, correct?
Yeah.
Because my English doesn't fit. This is exactly how you see the Quran if you speak Arabic. Quran has some verses, they have a strong language, good language, and most of the rest is garbage. That's mean that the author of the Quran cannot be one.
Cannot be what?
Cannot be one person. It cannot be one person. Because
oh yeah, well I sorry, can I just interrupt? I believe that the we parts in the Quran are actually the monks' explanatory notes, that they copied down what he said, translated, but they also added their points onto what he had said.
You know, when we debate Muslims, we have to go by what they believe. But however, it can be used, it can be taken as what they say. But this is not a proof of anything. The proof of Islam to be false is the language of the Quran itself. Is not, it cannot be written by one person. Like if you go, if you see Muhammad in the Quran as an example, say that his God said that if he caused the Quran to be forgotten, he will make something better or similar. How in the world someone is educated would say such a stupid thing? Because look how dangerous is that. Because Allah will make you forget the Quran, but yet Allah, he will make Quran better than the Quran. That's mean Muhammad, he noticed in his time that there is a problem. He himself cannot even maintain his book. He forgot the book. He say things they contradict each other, and now he want to give us an excuse. So he say, my God told me any verses we cause to be forgotten or we abrogate. So he want to explain why he keep changing his mind about things. Why? Because Allah said anything we cause you to be forgotten or to abrogate, we are going to make something better or similar. Now, how Allah can make Quran better than the Quran of Allah? That is stupid. But
Yeah.
because Muhammad is collecting stories from different author, sometime from Waraqa, sometime from the neighbor, sometime from a woman visiting Aisha, you know, like the story of the legend of the flying carpet and the hudhud, the bird who speak to Sulaiman, the ant who speak to Sulaiman, or the punishment of the grave. So Muhammad is explaining here why he is not consistent and why he keep bringing things contradict each other.
I think he what he said live was written down by others, and that's why he kept contradicting himself, because he was just saying it off the top of his head.
No, he's struggling. You know, he's struggling as a person trying to accomplish himself as a prophet. So he did not know what he would do. He do it based on that in the moment. So when he saw it is better for him to make the men do muta, you know, have sex for renting women, he said do it. But then later he found that this is embarrassing and people start talking about it, so he changed it because he didn't have rules. You know, there's no rules in Islam. Muhammad is trying to create a religion. So every day he have a new. This is why I don't agree with you about he was a heretic of a certain cult, because this guy, he don't have a religion. He don't have any religion. This guy is everything. This guy is an international United States, United Nation. He have all religion in the world inside him. He have the black stone. The black stone, I find it very much is coming from the Indian. You know, the Lalinga. You know, the stone of Shiva. So
he was a sponge.
Yeah, if you look at the Indian, they are just across the sea from the Sultanate of Oman, few hours in the sea, you know. And the Arab, they have an old route of doing trades even with the China. So there is connection between them and other nations, and obviously this black stone is coming from somewhere. And you know, if you read too, you will find that the Arab used to go around the Kaaba totally naked. Now, what kind of religion required that men and women they go naked around the Kaaba unless it's a sexual religion, right? So there is many religions is involved in.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah, and Muhammad is the result of all of them. It's like Muhammad is like a
sponge.
Someone he is doing, like, you know, a mixer, you know, like you bought here, you know, you bought some Christianity, some Jewish, some Sabian, some Hindus, you know, some the star worshipper, some of the moon worshipper, some of here, some black stone, put it together, and now we have Islam. But Islam does not exist really as a religion. It's a collection of religion. This is why Muhammad
his teaching on marriage and his teaching on slavery is exactly like Breton law. It's like straight out of the book.
No, Muhammad, he don't have a teaching about slavery. Muhammad, he Muhammad, he have teaching about slavery.
He allowed it, didn't he?
Yeah, he can allow them, but he made it as a. You see what Muhammad did. Muhammad, one of his business, he used to sell slaves and buy slaves. So Muhammad, in order to flourish his business as a slave buyer, he come with ideas. You know, like if I say to you, if I am a person who sells chicken, all right, and then I say to you, in order to make God forgive you, you have to free a slave. So what do? You have to free a slave, correct?
Yeah.
But now you need a slave still, and you are allowed to own a slave. So what do? You go and buy a new slave. All right. So Muhammad, he freed a slave, and then he captured a slave again, and he made him a slave again. Actually, I can show you tons of stories where people they free the slaves. Muhammad, he make them slaves again. Even they are freed by their owners, you know. So there is no law of slavery in Islam. It was a moody, depend in the needs of Muhammad. There's no law. You see, people they told me speak about Sharia law. There's nothing called Sharia law. I have a degree, you know. I have my law degree is in Islamic law and civil law. So when you study what is called Sharia law, you find there is no law in the law. What law? It was a process of collecting everybody law and making a law out of it. You know, Islam is like a whore. She slept
Yeah.
with 1,000 men, and then nobody knows who is the father. You know, in a better way to describe it, let's say this woman, she got a sperm from every man, and it was what she did put inside her egg. So Islam is a product of a whole religion. It's a collection of many religion. That's why Islam is not even a religion by itself. If we ask the Muslims even who is Allah, they don't even know who's Allah. I ask the Muslims now all my life. I keep asking them who's Allah. They don't know. They keep telling me he is the creator. I mean, I'm not asking you if he created or not. Who is Allah? They do not know. What Allah mean? They do not know. Have you ever heard of a people, they believe in God, they do not know what his name mean? Simply because the name is not an Arabic name, and they are stealing the name from other religions. This is why they do not know. There's tons of things like what Yasin mean, what Alif Lam mean, what Kahiyas mean, what Quran mean, what do you know, what Yasin, who is Yasin, who's Yasin, you know, who what Yasin mean. They don't know what Israel mean. Who's Israel? If we go now,
can I interrupt
Quran,
you? What nationality do you think he was? Do you think he was an Arab?
You know, for me, I have to go by what appeared to me the most evident. It says that he is an Arab.
Isn't there a Quranic verse that says that people questioned how he could produce the Quran because he had a foreign tongue?
No, he said when they said to him, they said, well, the one you are, because they accuse him that he is learning from two Aramaic guys. So he said to them, those who you speak about, they have a foreign tongue, but my is in pure Arabic. So he's confirming again that he's an Arabic person. And then
Okay.
you know, he confirmed another verse in the Quran that this is a book sent down so you can go and you know you to warn the mother of the villages, which is supposed to be Mecca and what is around it. So in the beginning, Muhammad was trying, when he said this chapter, this verse in chapter 6 verse number 92, that he is just a local prophet. But then with Muhammad, when his business flourished, he became an international. He have a stock market now. All right.
Okay. All right. So I'll let you go.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for calling anyway, and thank you for sharing with us what you believe. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Bye.
You're welcome. Yeah, actually, I appreciate those people like our friend here, Mel, because you know, he is trying to study and trying to research, and this is the best way to learn. I actually advise all of you to do the same. You see, those who don't read and try to learn, I advise him to get my books so he can get better ideas, and then he can continue his studies. But you need to remember, Islam is not really a religion. Islam is a collection of religion. It's like a hover machine, you know, vacuum machine. Whatever in the way, it take it inside. And Muhammad, he was not trying really to establish a religion as much he's trying to say, I'm a prophet. It doesn't matter who is going to believe in him. So with the Jews, he say, I'm a Jew. That's why he swear by the Torah. But when he could not find himself in the Torah, and the Jews did not accept him, he swear that he will kill all the Jews. He will expel all the Jews and the Christians from the Arabian Peninsula. He's so angry from them because he's give up. He spent a lot of time trying to convert them. In the beginning, Muhammad, he don't want to kill them because he was hoping that he will have their support and he will be a prophet for them. But when they could not believe in him, Muhammad decide, especially now he have the power to do it, he decided to get rid of them. And this is the same happened to the to his tribe. In the beginning, he tried to worship their stones as they do. Then he gave up the stone. He gave up the Kaaba. He went to the Jews. Hey Jews, let me swear by the Torah. Suddenly he became a believer in the Torah and he followed Moses. But then the Jews did not believe in him. So now he said the best, the worst is the bad for the believers is the one who called themselves Jews. The Christian, they were nicer to him. Why? Because there's no Christian around. He was not really having a let us say a majority interact with the Christians. He have Nasara around him. They are minority. So he did not have a problem with them, except they don't believe in him. But they were not really a power to resist him in the Arabian Peninsula. This is why he is not too aggressive against the Christians or Nasara, which is a fake Christians cult. But he was aggressive more against the Jews, because the Jews, they were established power in the Arabian Peninsula. They are big, huge tribes, and they are powerful, they are rich, and Muhammad, he lived between them. You know, if you go and live like now, if I go and live between Irish, I might have a bad experience about the Irish, and then I say, oh, the Irish are bad people, but I didn't speak against someone who's an Englishman. Why? Because I did not live between them. So, but it can be the opposite. I might say the Irish are wonderful people because my experience was good with them. Muhammad's experience with the Jews was bad. They rejected him, they made fun of him, for he was so stupid. They tried him, they used to make him say things, you know, to expose him. And Muhammad, he hated them very much. That's why he was so aggressive with them. Do we have any Muslim would like to call? Do we have any Muslim would like to call us? You see, the Muslims, they say that Muhammad is a messenger for all mankind. When the Quran, as we see here, chapter 6, verse number 92, said it clearly that Allah, he sent him to warn the mother of the village and what is around it. They call it here city, but the word in Arabic is Qura, which is a village. And the Quran confirmed that Allah, he never sent a messenger unless he speak the language of his people so they might understand. Never Allah sent a messenger unless he is speaking the tongue of his own people. So he have to be from the people, speaking the language of the people, in order what? In order to understand. We send not a messenger except to teach in the language of his own people. So you have to have condition here for the messenger, according to Islam, not according to me. The messenger have to be speaking the language of his own people, which means he have to be speaking the language, and he is from the people. And that's mean Muhammad cannot be a prophet for somebody from Germany or from one from China, for he don't speak the language and he is not from the people. So Muhammad became international. Muhammad, he mentioned that verse when he was not successful yet to overcome his enemies. He want to prove to the Arab, I am one of you, and I'm going to be a prophet for you. Accept me. That's why he insists here to speak that I am speaking your tongue, because you see the Christians, the Christian monks, they speak Aramaic. The Bible, most of it is in Aramaic. Even the Torah, there's a big part of it was in Aramaic. So he doesn't speak Aramaic, and he is not an Aramaic, and he is not a Hebrew. So now who is he? He have to find himself a legitimate place. This is why Muhammad, he claimed to be from Ishmael. Claiming to be from Ishmael is a step to inherit the throne of Ishmael, which is coming supposedly from his father. Otherwise, what he have to do with Ishmael? He have nothing to do with him. Abraham is an Aramaic man. His wife Hajar is an Egyptian. How the son became an Arab? And you know, and many naive Christians in their churches, they teach that Muslims are from Ishmael and Muhammad from Ishmael. But that's a very stupid statement, because even if I marry from an Arab woman, my children are not Arab. She is Arab already. Which means she have people already. The Arab exists before me. You know what I mean, guys? If I go to Japan right now and I marry Japanese women, can I say the Japanese are my children? This is stupid. But sometimes, you know, I mean, even Christians, they didn't. The fuse is you know, they are like the Abdul. You know, everywhere I go, the Muslims are Ishmaeli. The Muslim, where do you get this from? Moses in your Bible says he did marry from a woman, a Bedouin woman, who is not a Hebrew. Okay, why you don't say then that the children are the children of Moses are not Israeli? Why you don't say that? That's the children, they belong to their father, and this is their nationality, and this is the tradition all over in the Middle East. Even the Quran confirm saying that always people, they have to be called by the names of their father, and if they don't know their father, then you call them by brother of religion. All right. Here we go. Udu'uhum li'abaihim. We call them by the name of their father. A person have to be called by the name of his father, not by the name of his mother. Jesus was an exception because Jesus, by birth, he is the son of no man. All right. Call them by the names of their father. That is the teaching of the Quran. All right. So we have to be smart. You see, the whole idea is how much you know. The much you know, the much you can connect the dots together, especially if you have a good brain fast processor. You know, so I know more than, oh, I saw here this, oh, I got this here, oh, so I can, let me connect the dots together, and that will make an image for me. And this is how the TV work. The TV, you know, provide for you an image which is millions of dots coming together to your machine, which is a TV, and then that screen, in a magical way, put the dots together back. The person is in the studio, you are in your bedroom. What happened? We got the dots together. So in order to understand this cult, you have to collect all the dots, the dots which maybe sometimes it's small like dust, and you put them together, and that will make you have a better image.